Hi, good evening, and thank you for joining us for the Las Cruces Police Department's first town hall meeting of 2026. First, if you have a cell phone or anything that's going to make a noise, please silence it. And also remember, there's going to be a lot of good information given today. You may want to take notes, you can, but also it's being streamed on our Facebook page and on the city's YouTube channel, so you can go back and view it again if you wish later on. Also, if you haven't already, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. Feel free to sign up if you wish. And one thing I'd like to mention too, we're going to have a Citizens Academy beginning on March 3rd of this year. It's a 4-week academy, March 3rd through the 26th. We have some applications up here for anybody who might want to be interested in joining that Citizens Academy. You're going to go to the East Mesa Public Safety Complex. You'll learn a lot about the philosophy and what police departments, not just us, what police departments across the country do and why we do it. You're going to go on a ride-along with a commissioned officer. So there's a lot of good things to come out of that academy, and it's very exciting. So again, we have applications. You can come up and pick one up after. Because this presentation is a little bit longer than normal, we're going to take questions and answers, but they're going to be one-on-one with commissioned officers, chief and deputy chiefs up here after the entire presentation's over. We're not going to do it for the whole crowd. So keep that in mind. Keep your questions ready to go at the end. And we're going to start off with Chief Jeremy Story. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome. I appreciate everybody that's here. Just to clarify, so we have a lot of information. I'm gonna have my deputy chiefs present some stuff that's on their side of the house. We actually have some good news. It's not all bad news. We have challenges, of course, but we have some good news in there as well. So they're gonna present. I'll finish up with a presentation on some of the things that we've been dealing with for a while, but that are especially relevant now. And then all of us, along with 4 of my lieutenants, will be available to have discussions, questions, deal with any issues you have as soon as we're done with the presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Deputy Chief of Operations, Eric Urenda.
Not as tall as Chief Story, so I had to bring this down a little bit. I apologize. Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Eric Urenda. I am the Deputy Chief of Operations. Do want to thank everybody for being here this afternoon, this evening. For my presentation, what I'm going to cover is our current crime trends and compare them for the past 5 years. I'll follow that up with discussing our overall crime statistics in reference to violent crime and property crime for 2025 in comparison to 2024. I'll follow up with 2 of the major projects that we ran in operations and as a department as a whole that we believe help contribute to the numbers we're about to show you. And then I'll continue on talking about 2 sections that fall within me in operations that we also believe contributed to the reduction and the overall numbers that we're about to show you. And finally, my presentation will conclude with an overview of our main goal for 2026. That being said, as you can see up here from the PowerPoint slide, from 2021 to 2025, our current trend does show a reduction in overall crime by 2.8%. There are 3 years in between 2022 to 2024 where crime rose significantly. However, we're proud to announce that in 2025, we still have at least a 2.8 reduction in comparison to 2021. As we look at these numbers year to year from 2020 to 2025, you can see that the first 3 years, in 2020, there was an increase of 24%, increase in 2021 of 6%, and an increase in 2022 of 23%. However, ever since Chief Story became Deputy Chief, later on Chief, we did implement the evidence-based, intelligence-led proactive efforts in crime reduction, identifying hotspots and addressing those hotspots. And since then, for a very long time, we saw our first decrease of 4% in 2023. At our town hall, approximately this time frame last year, we told everybody that was present that our goal was to go into the double digits, that we're never going to be satisfied and we're always going to be striving to improve our community. and through, again, the leadership of Chief Jeremy Story, and equally important through our officers out on the streets, our detectives that are on call numerous times throughout the year, our street crimes unit, our patrol officers, our community outreach, traffic, everybody within the Las Cruces Police Department, from civilian to commission, all their efforts combined with Chief Story's leadership. I'm very proud to say that we do have a 13% increase in 2025, so we did meet that double digit that we're striving for. And of course, I can't leave out the first line supervisors that are out there with our officers, our lieutenants that oversee all sections. They've been through a lot, and despite the demands that we place on them, myself, Chief Story, Deputy Chief Mullen, we asked for excellence, we demand a lot. They kept their heads up, and they were out there daily to help us reach these numbers, so we cannot thank them enough. I want to compare very briefly our overall 2025 crimes when it comes to property and violent crimes in comparison to 2024. As you can see from the slide, in 2024, we had 719 reported violent crimes. In 2025, that dropped down to 583, which represents a 19% decrease. Property crime in 2024 was at 5,582, and in 2025, it did drop to 4,897. That represents a 12% decrease in crime once again. And in combination, when you combine them both, that leads to the overall 13% decrease for 2025. This next slide just briefly shows the number of arrests in total that LCPD has had for the last several years. 2020, 2021, arrests were either in the high 3,000 or low 4,000. We believe this is attributed to COVID years where officers and the public were all encouraged to limit interactions and contacts with each other. However, from 2020 to 2025, we have remained the same, or roughly averaging about the same number of arrests. So even our crime deterrence, our crime reduction, it's not necessarily because we're out there arresting people, but because we're out there with the help of the community, making our presence known, deterring crime, and that is our ultimate goal, not to arrest everybody, but be out there on the streets to deter people from committing crimes, and I think our officers have done an excellent job at that. This next slide is pretty interesting, so I want to explain one thing real quick. Our response times for officers from the time they get dispatched from MRVDA, they receive the call, to the time they arrive on scene. We categorize our response times into two main categories. One is in-progress calls. So for us, what that means is calls, whether they be misdemeanor or felony, that are in progress, actively occurring, or just recently occurred. Other agencies throughout the nation categorize them just as high priority emergencies. There's different variations, but they're relatively the same. Our other category is not in progress calls for services. So basically can still be misdemeanor or felony crimes, but that are no longer in progress, whether they occurred the day before, week before, or in the past, or there is no active threat at that time. Other departments throughout the nation call these routine or non-urgent calls for services. I'm proud to say that our officers here can show the numbers. Our response time shows that they are dedicated to the community and making every effort to be out there and respond when they are needed as quickly as possible. Nationally, agencies average about 5 to 10 minutes to respond to in-progress or high-priority emergencies. This is per the National Police Association. Our officers last year, 2025, their average was at 4 minutes and 24 seconds, which is at least a little bit over a minute and a half, close to a minute and a half faster than the national average. We hope that in 2026, with the addition of several officers, which Chief Story will talk about a little bit later on, that we can, our goal for 2026 is bring that down to under 4 minutes, which we did meet a couple of the months this year. The not in progress calls for service, this number is even more drastically impressive for our officers. Nationally, officers for not in progress calls for service take approximately 15 to 20 minutes to arrive to not in progress calls for services or calls that are considered routine or non-urgent. Nationally, it takes about 15 to over 20 minutes to arrive at these calls. LCPD arrives at these type of calls for services in 8 minutes and 19 seconds on average this past year. Again, at this point, very impressive, almost twice as fast. Next, I'm going to talk about two big operations that we ran as a department that we believe, we know, played a role in reducing overall crime in our community. It is going to be Operation Not in Vain, the 2025 version. If you recall, we ran Operation Not in Vain for the first time in 2024 to honor our fallen brother, Officer Jonah Hernandez. Last year, we ran it from April 2025 to August of 2025. It wasn't every day. We ran it randomly 1 week, every month for that entire duration. Once again, we collaborated and worked closely with all other agencies within this area to include local, state, and federal. This consisted of New Mexico State Police, Johnny County Sheriffs, NMSU PD helped us out this year as well. Several federal agencies to include the U.S. Marshal Services, HSI, DEA, ATF, and FBI. The Metro Agency for this region was also participating and assisted us in our charging efforts and even the coordination. We also coordinated with 3rd Judicial District Attorney's Office and the U.S. Attorney's Office. This year, for Operation Not in Vain, our two primary focuses were going to be frequent offenders who are identified as drivers of violent crime. And again, we continued the approach from last year in identifying hotspots based on data and intel and determining where these violent hotspots are at and getting our officers out there. The results were significant. I'll go over them briefly. You can't see them up here as well, but the officers, everybody working from every agency, combination of all those, we had 120 felony arrests, 134 misdemeanor physical arrests, 31 criminal citations, 24 warrant requests, 19 firearms were seized, 14 stolen vehicles were recovered. There were 16 total narcotic seizures, and in combination of all that, that included over 3,200 fentanyl pills seized and also over 98 grams of meth. These are just some of those that stand out. In addition to this, we did conduct over 1,000 traffic stops and issued over 300 traffic citations. I do want to point out that our officers were told not only to make a presence in our community, but go out there, reach, talk to people, talk to businesses. And through that, we were able to document that we had over 800 positive citizen contacts and over 200 positive business contacts as well. The community was very open to seeing us out there. It was great to see myself, Chief Story, DC Mullen were out there on several nights, and it was great to see some of the businesses and people out there basically saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it was just for seeing us. So all we can say in return is not just you're welcome, but we will try to be out there even more. Another project that we ran is the DA Warrant Project, DA Warrant Roundup. This project, we ran approximately from April through June of 2025 on various days. It was not every day, it's just on various days. And basically, we received grant funding through the state and through the 3rd Judicial District Attorney's Office so that we can help them work over 400 outstanding warrants that they have had, some of which were dated back to 1992. It involved several sections within the Las Cruces Police Department to include Intel, CID, SCU, Street Crimes Unit, our Criminal Investigation Section, K-9 Patrol, and our community officers. But any officer within the department was able to sign up and help us out with this project. What we did is we gathered together, and the days that we were working, we'd gather intelligence, follow up on any leads in reference to these warrants, in an attempt to serve them or clear them from the system. The results were also pretty significant, and I believe also helped in the reduction of crime this past year. It had 39 warrants were closed out by either arrest or confirmed that the subjects were incarcerated or deceased. Over 140 warrants were closed out after being determined to no longer be valid, and 140 warrants. And then 140 warrants were determined that the subjects were no longer within our county. And this was based after exhausting all leads that we had and intelligence that was gathered in reference to those subjects. Two sections that I'll briefly discuss. Every section within the Las Cruces Police Department made a significant impact this past year. Two sections that I can provide numbers for you now so you can just get an overview of it. Our street crime sections did net a total of 86 felony arrests this past year. They conducted 68 investigations and were able to recover 67 stolen vehicles, firearms, and or narcotics. Our traffic section has ran over 20 traffic projects from July to December of 2025. targeting high crash and high speed areas. We hope to continue to do so this following year and so that we can see an overall reductions in crashes in Las Cruces. And then finally, I'm just going to end up with talking about what is our goal for 2026. Our goal is to implement the concept of stratified policing. Now, for those that are aware of the town hall that we had last year in January, we talked a lot about hotspots. We talked a lot about evidence-based, intelligence-led policing, where our officers are not going to focus just on randomly going out throughout the city hoping to fight crime or hoping to be a deterrent. We use evidence, intelligence gathered, and so forth to guide our officers to the areas that needed it, the hotspots where specific crimes were evident to be more common than in other areas. What stratified policing is, it's the next step in that same process, except now we're going to institutionalize it throughout our entire department, where everybody within our organization is going to have clear goals and objectives on specific crimes that Chief Story wants to target. We're all going to work together on them as a whole. There'll be accountability. There'll be follow-ups from the very bottom, line officer, all the way through the sergeant, the lieutenant, myself, and Chief Story, and of course through DC Mullen as well, in hopes that this coming up year, when we do this town hall meeting again in 2027, our goal, in addition to the ones I've already mentioned, is hopefully to continue on with crime reduction in double digits, and if possible, with the help of everybody at LCPD and the help of the community, maybe even get to 20% reduction or more. So thank you for your time. At this point, I will pass it over to DC Mullen.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me all right in the back? Great. My name is Sean Mullen. I'm a Deputy Chief at Las Cruces Police Department. I oversee the other side of the house, administrative side of the house, and I'm going to be giving you an update on our 2025 stats and overviews for Criminal Investigations Section, Metro Narcotics, our Real-Time Crime Center, and also our Community Outreach Unit. So our Criminal Investigations Section is comprised of 1 lieutenant, 3 sergeants, 16 detectives, and 3 officers. When you're looking at the detectives in our section, they're broken out into 4 divisions: major crimes, crimes against children, property crimes, and financial crimes. We do this to kind of divvy up the work, but also it allows detectives within those sections to seek specialized training or individualized training. We could also use back in that unit and see more return on our investment. And our detectives in all these sections all participate in an on-call rotation every single day, 365 days a year throughout the city to respond to felony crimes where our assistance is needed in a patrol capacity. The 3 officers assigned to the investigative section are in our missing persons unit. Now, that missing persons involves both juvenile runaways and adults, as well as our digital evidence unit, and that is to help us process evidence that's collected from a scene, which may be a computer, cell phone, tablet, any kind of digital evidence that we process to try and obtain the information needed off of it, such as a child abuse investigation or things of that nature. So in criminal investigations, one of the things we look at and compare ourselves with is clearance rates. And you may ask yourself what a clearance rate is. And the easiest way that I can explain it is that any given number of crime or crime type is then compared or divided by the number of crimes solved within that unit. So for example, if we had 10 burglaries and 10 were solved, we'd have a 100% clearance rate, right? If we only solved 5 of them, we'd have a 50% clearance rate. So when you're looking at this chart, if you start at the bottom, that's 0%. You go all the way to the top, that's line number 10, that is 100%. The blue dots, or excuse me, the blue columns are LCPD. And these are our 2025 numbers or clearance rate. The orange is the 2024 national average that's taken from the FBI because their 2025 numbers are not available yet. So when you look across all these metrics, LCPD is above the national average in clearance rates across the board. This is a trend that we try and strive for every single year, and our investigators are doing a great job. That's in part because it starts at the ground level, right? Patrol goes out to the scene, gets the base investigation, identifies evidence they can, an investigator comes out and follows up and follows through onto charging. So if you're looking at the columns, if we start from left to right, you got murder above 90% clearance rate, ag assault above 50%, rape just below 50%, robbery 50%, larceny 35%, burglary 20%, and motor vehicle theft is just above that. So these are great numbers for our detectives in that section working hard. The next section is Metro Narcotics. So Metro Narcotics serves all of Las Cruces and Doñana County. This is a joint powers agreement with Doñana County Sheriff's Office, New Mexico State Police, as well as Las Cruces Police Department. Within it, there are 15 law enforcement officer positions, or LEO positions. 3 of those are supervisors, 1 from each organization, and 12 agents. So 5 of the agent positions belong to LCPD. So I'm going to start this with a pop quiz or group activity, I would say, for the audience. So what were the 2 narcotics investigated by Metro Narcotics in our area? Or excuse me, the top 2 narcotics investigated. Let me hear some numbers. I hear fentanyl and meth. Anything else? Heroin. So the first 2 names were absolutely spot on. So number 1, methamphetamine. This was the number 1 narcotic investigated by our Metro Narcotics unit, 212 cases. Number 2, fentanyl. Fentanyl came in at 158 cases that it was involved in with our narcotics unit. Here are some photographs of the seizures done by the agents in our area. As you can see from these photographs, we have some fentanyl on a scale with the blue pills. On the top picture, you have a large amount of currency. Fentanyl, again, firearms, looks like a short barrel rifle, AR-15 platform. Another one on the bottom of that. In these picture on the bottom, there's clear bags. It's kind of hard to tell from this photograph for those of you who can't tell, but that's methamphetamine. More narcotics. These pink pills that you see in the top right of the screen, that's actually ecstasy, along with fentanyl and methamphetamine, the clear bag. So another overview, total cases generated by our Metro Narcotics unit is 386. Las Cruces Police Department was responsible for 182 callouts for Metro Narcotics to come to the scene to meet with a patrol officer who has either stopped a car or came in contact with an individual who did have narcotics on them. When you're looking at our 2025 seizures from narcotics or from Metro Narcotics, I'm not sure if you can read this clearly from the back. You should be able to. But one of the main takeaways from here is that the total street value of the narcotics seized by this team, by this unit, was over $1.1 million. And that's just here in Las Cruces, Doñana County, right? A lot of the narcotics that we see in our area are flowing up from the south due to our proximity to the border, but we also see some coming in from the Arizona border. Next, I'm going to highlight our real-time crime center. Kind of humble beginnings here. Room tore apart. Got some old lights in the ceilings. You can see that second photo. We have our concrete actually cut and trenched for the electrical conduit that was going in. The room kind of getting put back together, painted with our carpet, new lights, ceiling tiles going up, and a final product of what it is today and how it's working. Or I should say set up. 2 consoles in the front, 2 consoles in the rear with a video wall to assist. Our staffing in the Real-Time Crime Center consists of 5 technicians, 1 sergeant, and 1 officer. Their mission, their primary mandate is to assist the patrol officers in responding to calls for service and try and increase our pre-arrival information or officer safety prior to the officer making it on scene. They assist in examples such as their address or person history to be able to look up and tell if this person that we're about to come into contact with has any criminal history that we are aware of. If it's a domestic violence situation, have there been a history of domestic violence at this residence? What other information do we know? ALPR is automatic license plate reader. This is very helpful in situations where we could be responding to a shots fired call for service and a vehicle description is giving that's fleeing the area. We can see if there's any resources that is available to us or on the path of travel for this vehicle to help us identify a car and maybe which direction of travel it is heading in. Also, our DFR, drone as first responder, camera resources, and investigative support for any kind of follow-up cases that may come, and I'll touch on those other ones here in just a minute. One other note I wanted to highlight on this is that as I move through these slides, this is to give you an overview and understanding of what these systems or sections are that are in our section. Bridging the Badge episode will be going on January 22nd, 2026, where we will take a deeper dive into this specific topic, Real-Time Crime Center, and get a lot deeper with questions if there's more out there that people have. So, but to touch on ALPRs, automatic license plate readers, this has been a hot topic in the news and in conversations locally, so we wanted to be clear from an LCPD perspective. The questions that are circling out there is, we do have an auditing policy in place. We have restricted access for those people who would try to access our system or do want to. Limited retention policies. We're only storing data for 30 days. We do not share with federal agencies. We do not allow federal agencies to even request our data. And we do not share for reproductive searches, or excuse me, reproductive care searches or immigration purposes. So DFR stands for Drone as First Responder. I'm going to try and see if this works, kind of give you a visual while I discuss. So our Drone as First Responder program, or DFR, is very new. We're just finishing our test flights and our training test period. We've been evaluating a couple different products, but its capabilities have many uses. We have 5 technicians as stated in the Real-Time Crime Center, and the officer and the supervisor, all of which are certified drone pilots. The drone can be used to pursue vehicles that are fleeing from us, that are stolen or wanted for some other crime that we're breaking off the pursuit of due to the Mexico State Pursuit Policy. We can use them to find missing persons. There's use cases across the country where the drones are used to find missing persons. It could also be used to just support our officers in an aerial capacity if we have an individual that we're trying to locate who is behind a building or in the desert somewhere. These drones have a very good capacity to help us just visually looking down from a top-down view. Another thing I want to announce is that starting today or live now, if you look at the QR code in the top right of the screen, you can now access the community page that we have that is live and tell the police department whether or not you have cameras at a location that you want to share with us. So to be clear, a resident can log onto this or go to this QR code and say, hey, I have a camera at my home. I want you to be aware that it's here. We are not logging into your camera. We are not viewing your camera. You are telling us where that resource is. So that if, for instance, there is a crime that occurs in your neighborhood, we have a pin on a map that says, if we don't come up with this, or when our officers canvass the area, we don't notice the camera, we know that there is a resource here, and we can reach out to you and say, hey, your neighbor was the victim of an auto burglary. Do you have any information, or did your cameras capture anything that could be beneficial and help them solve, or help us solve this crime in which they were the victim? Also, for our Drone as First Responder program, we are also launching a transparency page with all of our flight maps and data. So you can see where the drone flew, what the flight path was, what the case it flew to was. This is something we're doing to give everyone, full view of what we're doing and how we're doing it. Is not a secret. It is a tool that's used to provide safety for our officers, as we've stated before, but also transparency to the community, which is owed. And I'm going to land or leave on our community outreach team. So we got Ranger there in the top right, and this is just some photographs from an event that was hosted this year. But our community outreach section has a deep breadth and responsibility here in the city. So it's 4 community advocates, some of which are in this room right now, 4 park rangers, 6 officers, 1 sergeant, 1 lieutenant. They hosted over 172 events in 2025. These are things such as Mock on the Block, which, to call out, there's another one happening at the end of this month, January 28th, 4 to 7 p.m. at 5589 Porter Drive at the East Mesa Rec Center, as well as Lunchbox Lemonades, National Night Out, Bridging the Badge. Again, I spoke on that, but just a reminder, that's on the 22nd for the Real-Time Crime Center specifically, and retail projects. They also do several other things in our community. This is a group of dedicated, hardworking folks who've got big hearts, and we also go out and do door hangers or flyers in neighborhoods after an area has been victimized by like auto burglaries, for example. We'll hang these hangers on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays and try and alert neighbors that someone in their area was the victim of an auto burglary. This helps us from a research standpoint, as Chief Story is very well read on the topic of door hangers in this area, as far as using them for proximity and timelines to be sure, you know what I mean, you don't become a repeat victim just because you're in close proximity to someone who already was burglarized. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Story.
Thank you to both the DCs. Appreciate you guys. There's a lot of information, and we wanted to kind of just give it all to you to start out 2026. Like I said, there's some of it is good news. We still have work to do. We still have hurdles. We still have challenges, but some of it is good news. Talk about staffing. Staffing, we are currently at 198 officers. Now, this number changes very quickly. It takes me a day to lose somebody. It takes me a year and a half to replace a cop on the streets. But we're doing a lot better today than we were, say, in 2021 when we were as low as 161 officers. That's out of 220, so we still have some vacancies. We have 22 people who are finishing the field training program. So in about 2 weeks, most of them will be out on their own, and that's going to change things for us drastically, especially on patrol, when you have all those additional people that can help do proactive stuff and respond to calls faster. Our next academy actually starts the pre-academy on the 25th of this month. Our recruiting staff and our academy staff have done a phenomenal job again, and we have an academy of 28 people that are starting, with 11 of those being females. Those are really good numbers in a time where it's difficult to recruit police officers. And then we have the 4 park rangers. They'll be done with their field training at the end of the month. So they'll be out there. They're out there now doing their training with officers, but pretty soon they'll be out there actually in the parks trying to help with some of the issues we have specifically in our parks. So I want to talk about 2 specific issues tonight. The legislative session starts next week. There are going to be some bills that are allowed. The governor's already signaled that she's going to message several of these bills when it comes to public safety. I want to start with juvenile crime. I've talked about this a lot. This has been something that we've unfortunately dealt with in Las Cruces, and it should hit close to home, especially with Young Park happening almost a year ago. Some of this stuff I've already shown. If you've seen the Bridging the Badge, you probably have seen some of this. I'm going to shorten it a little bit. Just the disclaimer is some of these things, there's some violence, there's some profanity. This is their words, not mine. I don't condone it, but it's hard to really show what's going on unless I show it as it's posted. And I would contend that we're failing our kids. We have far too many headlines in Las Cruces, New Mexico over the last few years of young people losing their lives at the hands of other young people. That shouldn't happen. And we have to do better, especially when many of the suspects in these cases have committed several violent acts prior to the one that took somebody's life. What are some of the trends we're seeing? Things are different today, and I'm going to show you some stats as well. Things are different now than they were 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago for that matter. So what is different today? The trends we're seeing, probably one of the biggest ones, that the kids are possessing and posing with firearms now more than they ever have. When I was a sergeant over the gang unit 12 years ago, we dealt with juveniles a lot that were in gangs who did some stupid stuff, and guns were involved sometimes, but not at the level they are now. These kids all have guns. Sometimes they have multiple guns on them, and some of them have more guns than I do, and they sell them between themselves, especially with social media apps. That's something we didn't have 10 years ago. A lot of these arguments start on the internet, whether it's social media or some other form, and then they spill out into real life. And a lot of the homicides we've had are over ridiculous things. Not that there's a good reason to kill another human being out there between the juveniles, but they're over a glance. They're over someone saying something to them on Facebook, or not Facebook, for these kids aren't using Facebook, but Instagram or Snapchat. It's over something like that. Lots of videos that they're posting themselves on social media of things like stealing cars, shooting guns out the window. And for the most part, I'm not sure they would do it unless they got the credit for posting it on social media. A lot of drive-by shootings. I'll show you a statistic on that. It's very shocking, but it's definitely what we've been seeing is a lot of houses and vehicles being shot up, not all by juveniles, but definitely being driven by juveniles. And then homicides. Far, far too many homicides and way too much violence. So going to that first kind of trend, guns and social media, we are seeing these kids post tons of pictures and videos. It's become an accessory to a lot of our young men, just like a purse is to a young lady. And this is really driving the level of violence we're seeing. It's just the accessibility and how many guns these kids have. Guns in our schools, this is something that Albuquerque's dealt with, and really across the state. This was at Oregon Mountain High School, I believe now, last year in 2024. But these are kids we've been dealing with for a very long time, since they were very young, without any ability to have accountability or to get them off that path. And he is now in federal custody for possessing the firearm at the school. Guns used to threaten law enforcement. This right here was outside of Young Park. This was before the shooting. I was actually working this night. We were doing Not in Vain, and we get a call of juveniles in the yard of this house with a bunch of guns. Now, when we get there, it's difficult because we didn't see them with guns. We're limited with what we can do. We had a conversation. They knew we couldn't do anything. We walk away. And this is what they post that night. That's them painting the officers with a laser attached to a handgun as they walked away. A lot of shooting recklessly. Everyone in this room probably knows where Young Park is, but just as a reminder, when you look at Young Park, it's surrounded by residential, apartment complexes, some commercial, a school. There's really no direction you can shoot and not hit something that should not be hit. This is in Young Park posted. Those bullets obviously have to go somewhere, and it's not somewhere they should be going. This rifle that he has right here was stolen from an Anthony Police Department unit, was recovered, fortunately. A lot of just shooting. They're not even doing like a traditional drive-by. They just like to shoot out the window, which still has consequences and can be tragic.
Ran from.
That's with a Glock switch, so it's fully automatic. A lot of just shooting at transformers from substations.
Ready? Yeah. This is the card, this is the card, this is the card, this is the card. Hey, just shut that bitch. Shut that bitch. Alright, let the cousin shoot it, let the cousin shoot it. Shoot that your window, cuz, hurry. Right here, up front, up front. Nigga, come on.
This is not the best video. This is a video of a video. This kid right here, and you're gonna see this one and two others. This kid is on probation while he's committing these acts.
On the sevens, bitch.
It's him. They're on kind of like a joint video call with other juveniles on the right, and this is him shooting out his window into his neighborhood. On the left is at a school playground. A lot of actual drive-bys, either to houses or between vehicles. If you look on this one, that red car, kind of on the right side of the screen, is between that car and the next car you see in frame. It's in the Monte Vista area. Those people responsible were taken into custody. This is off Highway 70 in the Mesa Grande Mesa area. Also in custody. This is in the Legends West subdivision. This is, you'll just hear the automatic gunfire with the Glock switch. This is Legends West, separate incident as well. This is at a playground. This is between, and this is that kid that's on probation again, same kid. They're friends, ostensibly they're friends, and this is kind of just their disregard in how they handle firearms.
Niggas think I'm pussy, man. You think I'm...
This one, same kid again, that's on probation. This is at a gas station in Las Cruces. This gentleman is homeless. He comes up with a sign, again, ostensibly to solicit for either money or something else, and this is their reaction to him.
Look at this bitch, this bitch real, 20 real. Yo, bro, this bitch right now. This bitch real, 20, you don't want this bitch.
So where are they getting all these firearms? This is an important point because there's information being put out that I think is contrary to what we are seeing in other police departments. The vast majority of the firearms that we recover from juveniles are stolen. A lot of them are stolen from vehicles, a lot of times unlocked vehicles. If I could get people to lock their cars, preferably not with a gun, but not leave a gun in an unlocked car, that would be very helpful. Because they're very good at finding vehicles that have guns and stealing them. Some of them have been from burglaries at gun stores, some of them burglaries at houses, but the majority come from cars. And once they have them, they sell them amongst themselves on apps like Telegram. And it's very easy for these kids to get a gun. In 30 minutes to an hour, they can purchase and get a gun from one of these apps. Huge increase in stolen firearms. And that's probably the biggest factor is the availability is there because they're being stolen and sold amongst them. Briefly talk about the attitudes of some of these kids. This kid is 15, was 15, he might be 16 now. He shot another kid at a park 6 times with a rifle. Fortunately, that kid did not die. And that case got dismissed. This was, to be very clear, this is the previous district attorney. And it was dismissed, and he posted this after it was dismissed. You can get away with murder. In his case, it was attempted murder if you do it right. Unfortunately, he was right. He did get away with this case. Now, he's done several other things, lots of drive-bys, and he's actually in federal custody for cyber stalking for what he did to an ex-girlfriend. But on the state side, there was no accountability with that child. This is recovered from messages on one of these kids' phones. This is the attitude they have about the New Mexico system. Now, I'm only going to do this one. I did some other ones in Bridging the Badge. This kid, I think he actually is 18 now. He's done a lot of things. We've been dealing with him since he's very young. One of the cases was where he shot another kid at a different park multiple times and paralyzed that child during what we call a dope rip, a robbery involving narcotics. Paralyzed that kid. And so this is his conversation from jail with other kids. In yellow is the kid that's in jail, and white is the kid that he's talking to. Anything that's redacted is just either the N word or the F word. So the kid in jail says, I got 2 felonies. What you talking about? 2, I got charged with 2 guns. He's talking about a different incident than the one where he paralyzed the kid. Stupid, blank, till you're 18, and then it's 45, talking about the years. He said, I don't care, I'll beat the case. They say, hopefully. No, there's no hopefully. I'm just going to do this test, and once I do this test and whatever happened, I might go home. I might not, but if I don't, then I don't. But you know I'm going to go home. The test he's referring to is the competency evaluation. And this kid, you'll see his kind of criminal history in a second. Most of the cases were dismissed throughout his whole childhood because of competency. And what that means is they're dismissed, and there's absolutely nothing else that happens. There's no supervision, there's no treatment, there's no services, there's nothing. And he says, now they're going back, they know I'm going to go home, talking about the jail staff. These blank will tell you I'm going to go home. If I almost killed someone, the kid he paralyzed, I went home for that and beat the charge. I know I'm going to go home for this. I'm talking about paralyzing the kid. He says, I don't give a blank beat that case. I'm beating it, brother. All those cases are dropped. I'm just fighting these 2 these 2 felonies, but they're like misdemeanors. And the kid says, oh, they're 4th degree felonies. I think so. You're good, brother, you're good. So their attitude is a 4th degree felony is basically the same thing as a misdemeanor. This is that kid's history. And these are just the crimes that involve a firearm or a felony. And the vast majority were dismissed because he was incompetent to stand trial. 25 felony charges, 24 misdemeanor charges between 12 and 17. And he's in federal custody, and that's the only reason he's not on the streets right now. Let me talk about just some general juvenile stats with recidivism with juveniles. There are 10 juveniles with 10 or more arrests. These are juveniles. Most people in this room probably have not been arrested 10 times, no matter how old you are. But before they're even 18, they have 10 arrests or referrals. 83 juveniles in Las Cruces with 5 to 9 arrests. 41% of those charges are for felony level crimes, so they're not necessarily all low level offenses. Some of them are. 17 have been charged with murder or manslaughter, 2020 to present. I'm going to show you this in a graph because I think this highlights what's changed more than anything else. Just the level of violence. 128 have been charged with aggravated assault or battery, and 217 with weapons violations, same period of time. 12 juveniles have been federally charged. And these are not kids that made a mistake and shoplifted or got in a fight at school. These are the kids, showed you the criminal history where we've tried everything, and there's been this entire history where they've hurt or killed other kids, and we cannot get any accountability. Now, I'm going to contrast it. I'm going to flip it, because at the same time where I'm saying we need accountability for the kids that are committing these violent acts, I also agree that the goal is to keep the kids from ever getting to that point. We cannot put them in jail long enough or fast enough to solve that problem, even if that was what we wanted to do. So let me show you this chart, which is juvenile arrests and referrals. And I say referral because most of the time when a juvenile does something, they don't go to jail. They get a piece of paper called Class 3 citation. They're released to a parent or guardian, and then they're referred to juvenile probation. So it's a citation similar to that. You see pre-COVID, you see COVID drop. Most of our referrals come from schools, so that makes sense, from our school resource officers or in the schools. And then you see it start to come back up, but you see it drop again the last 2 years. Why is it dropping? Well, it's not necessarily because kids are doing less stupid things. I wish it was that. But it's because we recognize and we're trying something different. So our school resource officers for low-level offenses are referring directly into the Youth Development and Diversion Program through the City of Las Cruces instead of a Class 3 through JPO. So the idea is that they get caught with a vape in school, first offense. Let's avoid sending them to JPO. Let's send them to the Youth Development and Diversion Program where they have a great program, they have services, And if they complete that, they're done. And if they don't, it has to come back for the referral, otherwise it kind of undermines that program. So you see the referrals drop. I don't think that's a bad thing. These are not the same kids that are doing the things I'm talking about, at least for the most part. But at the same time, you see crimes like this drastically increase. So our drive-bys, shooting at or from a motor vehicle or shooting at an occupied dwelling, have drastically increased over the years. And we had another one last night where a house was struck multiple times. Fortunately, most of those, nobody gets hit, but there are too many where someone does, and a lot of times loses their life. This is another chart that's very illustrative of the problem. In 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 19, we had 0 juveniles charged with either a murder charge or manslaughter. In 2020, we had 3. In 2021, we had 4. Luckily, none in 2022. And then 3, 4 the last 3 years. 17 in the last 5 years, or 6 years, and none. And I can actually go back probably till 2011, but the data is different. So I know from 2015, I feel confident, to 19, there was none. And now this is the trend we see. I'm going to shift, and let me just say this about the legislative session. As difficult as that should be to watch, it even shocks me, and it shouldn't shock me when I see some of these things. There is hope, and I've seen several draft bills. I think there are people that are working towards something that might actually pass. It may not be what I want. It may not be the perfect bill for what people in law enforcement or the district attorney's office may want. But again, it's about little wins and moving the needle forward. We are not going to get a complete rewrite of the children's code, especially in a 30-day session. Never going to happen. It's probably not even prudent to do that in a 30-day session. But I am confident that the legislature will pass something that hopefully moves the needle a little bit. And I will say I appreciate the legislators on both sides of the aisle who have met with me to discuss these things. And for the most part, everybody I've asked to talk has talked to me, and I very much appreciate them having those conversations. I'm going to just highlight really quickly repeat offenders and this endless cycle of arrest, release, repeat. Now, there are a number of reasons for what you're about to see, because some of this occurred before 2016 in the bail reform amendment to the Constitution, and some of it is after, and some of these people have been arrested a lot before and after. So if we fix that, it would not solve repeat offenders by itself, but it is part of the problem. There are a number of issues kind of all working together here. And at every level of the system, there's mistakes made at the police department by our officers. There's mistakes made potentially at the district attorney's office, at the courts, with the laws themselves. We're human, so there's errors that occur at every level, but this still should not be able to happen. I'm just going to show you the people in Doña Ana County that have 50 or more arrests. Now, keep in mind, some of these names are relatively common names, so just because you see a name, don't assume it's your neighbor or your friend, please. It's just to show you how many people have 50 or more arrests. And this is over a lifetime. So if someone is 60, this could be over 60 years of their life, and some of them are a lot younger. And that's the last one. You go back and reference it. Really the point I'm trying to make is that should not be allowed to happen in a society that's functioning correctly. We need to find a way earlier to stop that, because that's good for society. It's also good for the individual person we're looking at here. Every story is different. Some of these have serious mental health issues and substance abuse issues, or either or, and that's what's driving it. Some of them are career criminals who just are bad people and like to victimize others. And there's a whole lot of in between where it gets messy. But we have to find ways to stop this from occurring in our state and in our county. The Legislative Finance Committee came out with a report, and I'll actually put up a link here. There's things in the report I don't like, because it talks about how bad the data is in the state, how inconsistent it is, how many problems there are with the data, and then it says, here's all the conclusions we draw from it. So it's difficult for me to take that seriously if we're saying this is really bad data, and here's the conclusions we should act on. But I think this data comes from AOC, and this is as reliable as we're going to get. And it's from page 35. One of the things it says is 1/3 of defendants accounted for roughly 2/3 of felony cases between fiscal year 21 and 25. So 33% of the defendants are responsible for 66% of the felony cases. And if you look at this chart, which is also from page 35, this even highlights it more. 6% of people are responsible for 20% of felony cases. Now, this is true everywhere. That's the Pareto principle, whatever you want to call it. If we focus on the people who are repeat offenders, frequent offenders, whatever you want to call them, we find a way to stop them from committing other felonies. And what that thing is might be different for different people. But if we stopped at 6% of people, we would reduce the caseload for felonies 20% potentially. That's a big deal. I'm going to mention this because this has come up, the driving track, which to some people just seems like frivolous. Why are we asking for money for a driving track? Well, there are several reasons, and I kind of want to highlight what the vision is for. The number one reason is because in order to have a satellite police academy, you need three things. You need a driving track, an obstacle course, and a shooting range. Us and the Sheriff's Department both have satellite academies. Our academy is double the length, approximately double the length of the state academy. It's a lot easier to run it here and not send people to Santa Fe. And we get to add a lot of stuff that's missing from the state curriculum. It's very beneficial to have our own academy. The track we've used for, as far as I can tell, at least 30 years is on its last leg. And it could be 6 months, it might be 4 years, I don't know. But at some point it is not going to be available for use, or it's not going to be safe for use. We have to plan ahead. This has been a joint project with the county. That's why you see Doña Ana County there on the schematic design. They've already invested $200,000 into this project to get to this point for feasibility and the schematic. And this would serve both us and the Sheriff's Department for our academy training. Another thing, though, it'd be useful for is once you finish the academy, there's no requirement to ever do driving training again as a police officer, which is kind of crazy because we do a lot of driving. It's one of the highest risk things we do, especially emergency driving. Small agencies, whether it's Mesilla Marshals or Sunland Park or Hatch, there's no facility for them to go and do this. If we build this track, it allows all the Southern New Mexico agencies to have somewhere to go to do this training and hopefully prevent crashes, which keeps everybody safer, and do better on our emergency response than we're doing now. A third thing that I think it's beneficial for is the film industry actually supports this. I have a letter of support from Film Las Cruces because there's times where they bring in a production, they need a place to do either practice runs for stunt driving or to film specific things with vehicles, and they can't do that. Either they have to shut down a bunch of streets, which is costly, sometimes they can't do, or they need a place to do it. So this would be good potentially for our film industry. And the last thing, which I actually am very excited about, I think is an opportunity, is for youth engagement. Right now, kids drag race, not all kids, but lots of kids drag race. There's places they go out by the airport, which is where this would be built, by the airport, and they drag race. We've had shootings out there, we've had fights, we've had crashes. This is an opportunity, and this happens in other places where we have sanctioned drag races with police, fire, EMS, and we can do it in a controlled manner and hopefully be a positive experience between the police officers and the youth. I think we can make it work. The attorneys may not love that, but I think we can make it happen. The last thing I'll leave you with is the transparent. I always put this up. It's available. I know it's a lot of stuff on there. It's not necessarily easy to navigate because there's so much content, but it's there for a reason. The stats are up there for last year, all the stats. You could break it down by murder, ag assault, burglaries, because we didn't provide that here. And then on the right is a poll that was commissioned by the Albuquerque Journal by Research and Polling Incorporated, asking people what they thought about whether or not juveniles needed more accountability for serious offenses, which is essentially what we're talking about. Overwhelmingly, the people said yes. One other thing I want to say that I did not put on here that I want to mention is CALIA accreditation. This is something we've been pursuing for several years. Actually, Chief Dominguez started that before he left. We are very close. We just finished our off-site assessment, so like an online virtual assessment, and our on-site is at the beginning of March. And if all goes well, we'll receive our accreditation in July. So we're very close to that. I think I'm very proud of the staff for doing that because it's been a lot of work to get to this point. What we're going to do at this point, because it's been such a long presentation, is we're all going to stick around for as long as we need to, similar to how a lot of the legislators have done their town halls. I have myself, both deputy chiefs. I have 2 patrol lieutenants, Lieutenant Porras, if my lieutenants can come up here. Lieutenant Porras and Lieutenant Medina are both patrol lieutenants. Lieutenant Huitala Joy is the community outreach lieutenant. She oversees a lot. So the community outreach section, the advocates, the school resource officers, codes and animal control. So she has a lot of different things. If you have problems in any of those areas, you can talk to her. And then Lieutenant Bradley's over investigations, including real-time crime center. So if you have questions on license plate readers, drone as first responder, the real-time crime center, he's the guy to ask. He's the one who's made that happen. So thank you everyone for being here. I will say now's the time to reach out to your legislators and talk about these issues if you're concerned about them. Do it in a respectful way. Anytime someone gets an email that's disrespectful, human nature is to completely disregard it. That's true for them, that's true for me, that's true for all of us. If you want it to be heard, don't make it a mass email, make it personal. Actually take the time to write your own email about what issues are important to you and why you want them to vote on a certain bill or for a certain issue to resolve it. And the session starts on Tuesday, so now's a perfect time to make those contacts. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone just listening and being respectful. Have a good night. The lieutenants will just kind of spread out so people have places to go, and feel free to come up. Oh, and the Citizen Academy applications are here. You'll have time to do it. If you don't want to grab one, it'll be on our website. You can print it out, but Citizens Academy is a great experience. We enjoy doing them.